If I had a magic wand, I'd like someone in my business looking at the numbers every day and says, look, here are your numbers. Here's what you did. This is what I recommend. If you were to put a little bit more money here, this would happen. If you stayed on course with this would happen. Really someone diving into tracking my emails, the subject line, the click rates, the copy, and tell me like, this is what you need to dial in on a little bit more. That kind of looking at the big picture instead of me going in and doing whatever I think I'm supposed to be doing to make a sale and not even realizing that maybe over here, I didn't even tap into my full potential. That was a conversation that I had yesterday, and that was just the start of it with one of my clients. Does it sound like something that you would like somebody to come in your business to do if you had a magic wand? Well, if you're really looking to scale your business, you do need someone that is responsible to be constantly looking at your numbers. And more importantly, truly understand what they're looking at, right? It's so they can give you the recommendations. And they really know that based on what these numbers say, what the data means is really what you need to be focusing on to move forward as a result of those numbers. And there's so much more that goes into it. And there is actually a role in a business that does this, and that is a chief marketing officer. And although some businesses don't have the resources, or they're not in a position to have a full-time CMO in their business, or maybe because maybe they're starting up, or maybe they're like kind of at the point where they're like starting to make good money, but they're just not at the point to have somebody full-time, or like this particular customer, they don't want to do it themselves. They don't want to have it in-house because they would have to learn all these things, right? They want to hire someone. So what do? Well, today is part 1 of 2, where I am sharing what the difference is between the role of a chief marketing officer and a marketing manager. Because you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, I don't have this big company where I need these chief officers, right? Maybe I just need to hire a marketing person. So we're going to dive into that. So let's first just let me kind of explain the C-suite if you've ever heard of that. So usually you have your CEO, right? Which most likely would be you. And then under it, you have your chief officers. And ideally, it's like a chief operating officer, so a COO. Then you have your chief marketing officer, which is your CMO. And then some have, and most people have a CFO, your chief financial officer. So although we are online businesses and not in the corporate world, we're really looking to structure our businesses somewhat like that, right? But not necessarily in the C-suite way, right? So going back to what do you do? While you may consider working with and having the CMO position, because marketing your business is not optional. It is definitely a requirement for growing and scaling it. You may want to consider with a fractional CMO, right? So that just means that you're having this part-time person come in and being fractional into your business, okay? So just to clarify, when I say growing, that means building brand awareness, driving growth in your business, getting more leads, converting more leads into sales, and really driving demand for your offers, okay? And as a result, you're increasing your revenue month after month and year after year. So basically, the whole idea is you have your operations, and as a CEO and the operations are like, okay, we want this revenue. The chief marketing officer and the whole marketing and sales department are in charge of making sure that whatever their efforts goes into hitting those revenue goals, right? The businesses do not create income on its own. You definitely need a study of new leads and sales coming into your marketing funnel every single day. So it makes total sense to have a marketing leader in the driver's seat to ensure that your marketing efforts are aligned with your overall business goals and really move the team forward, okay? So if you're wondering, like, what is a CMO? What do they do? And how is their presence or a lack of their presence affect your business? Well, the way things used to be, right, are totally old school. So let's just dive into, like, with all the digital tools that are available today, and really with today's marketing methods, The CMO or fractional CMO is more than just like a higher level marketing supervisor. Okay. They blend technology with traditional marketing capabilities. They also oversee the whole marketing department. We're talking about hiring and firing the marketing team, decide where your marketing dollars are best spent, and develop a plan and a strategy to make sure the company's revenue goals are achieved. The CMO or fractional CMO is all about taking specific actions to drive growth and really be that catalyst on innovation, right? You want your business to constantly be innovative. That's something that you as a CEO should be looking to do, but really looking towards that CMO or fractional CMO as the leader to drive that innovation, right? So you also might be asking yourself, like, do I really need a CMO? Couldn't a marketing manager do the same job? And actually, the chief marketing officer and marketing manager are two very, very different positions with drastically different responsibilities and required skills. Okay. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of times, yes, your marketing manager will be very knowledgeable, which is super important. However, when we're talking about not only the skills, but the responsibilities is huge, which of course in turn means pay, right? So for one thing, a CMO is an executive or is a leader in the company, whereas a marketing manager is not. A CMO also needs to keep pace with other C-suite members, right? So if we're talking about that, the operations and we're talking about the finances, right? We want to keep pace with that because we all would report to the CEO, right? Where of course the marketing manager does not. And finally, a CMO has many of the same responsibilities as the marketing manager, but also has different ones, okay? So a fractional CMO really does all of the above. And quite often, they bring with them an experienced marketing team that can execute things as needed. So for example, I myself am a fractional CMO. So you can come to me as being the leader for what you need to get done, kind of guide you, right? And making sure whoever is in the marketing and sales department, whether it be helping you hire, fire, coming up with the strategy, all that good stuff, right? And then if you're like, wait a minute, I don't have a team to build funnels, or I don't have a team to, implement or get my email campaigns up and running, right? I have the agency that helps you do that. So usually the fractional CMO has those resources that really you don't have to pay these employees to do all this stuff for you, okay? So we'll dive deeper into that in part 2 of this 2 episodes that we're doing here. But ultimately, the CMO or fractional CMO is all about the strategy, and the marketing manager is all about the tactics. Okay, so the CMO has a clear understanding of strategy versus tactics and will make all the difference in prioritizing your marketing needs. So, bottom line, the CMOs are responsible for creating and managing profitable growth, like a profitable growth strategy, and be the leader that you need in the company to understand really what's moving the needle to achieve your goals, so you're not leaving money on the table or sitting on something totally amazing that with just a couple of tweaks could really take off. All right. Okay, so in part 2, we are going to dive into why you may not need a CMO yet, right? So if you're looking to create this profitable or predictable profitable growth in your business with strategy and a marketing plan, get excited because I have your back. All right. So stay tuned on that because there's going to be plenty more to come on that. I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Until next time, let's grow your business together.